Okay, today is March 10, 2014. Let's quickly review the market. We saw a little bit of a pullback today, even though the Dow was open way down near, the over 100 point negative, and then it came back a bit. But I think the market still got a little bit more, pullback or maybe consolidation to go before it pushes to, or at least attempt for a newer high. So let's start off with the S&P 500. S&P 500 almost made it to the green, close with a positive close, but still just kind of closed down slightly. Got a little bit of a doji hammer here. And the Dow Jones also, you see this little hammer. So essentially, early in the session, it was pretty much down here. And then as the day progressed, it just kind of worked itself back up. So in the NASDAQ 100, NASDAQ 100 actually got a little bit of a green on the close, slightly positive. And the Russell 2000, again, it's kind of pulled back. So you can see that a lot of these low hammer doji here. But, I wouldn't be surprised that maybe get another day or two, and then we probably push it back up again. Maybe just come down, try to test the water here, test these support level down here, where the previous breakout point is. Similarly on the Nasdaq, maybe get down to filling out this gap here somewhere. Possibly just get down near this point here, somewhere around the 36.63, 64. And for the Dow Jones, again, maybe, we're still looking at this 16,260, somewhere around there. And the, S&P 500 plays down at this 1860 level here. And maybe test the water over it and get a little bit of a bounce. And then let's take a look at some of the stock that we've been following and just kind of give you an update. Morgan Stanley, as we suspect, the financial got a heck of a run last week, and it's to, start trailing or trimming it out, scaling it out last Friday, if not Thursday. And you can see today got a little doji, so doji hammer. Could be a little bit more consolidation before making another push. If the market going to make a new high, most likely these financial are going to participate. And the likelihood is we probably see like Morgan Stanley maybe come up to test this particular high, if not try to break it. And similarly with Goldman Sachs, you see Goldman Sachs came up to this 175 in kind of resistance, so it got a little bit of a doji, spinning top type of a candle. So it's a little bit indecision, but most likely, kind of hover. Maybe we expect it to hover somewhere around and test this, this resistance for a little bit, and then make a push and break it and come up to this 181, 182 level. BFA actually came back up and closed, up and got back up above this breakout baseline. So again, we don't know how much of strength is behind this, but if it get back up above this peak here, then definitely it could be, could set up for another run, to a higher level. So we just have to keep an eye on that. But if it pull back and consolidate, maybe come down to this area here, somewhere around these levels, these pivot point, and that might, present some possibility for some swing long entry. Maybe if we get back down to these level here, we'll just kind of keep an eye on it. Then GM, see, it's got to get the data loaded. GM is kind of pulled back and fill this gap here, so we just kind of have to see, would it be able to hold about this particular support? This basically this support here. Those who got a trend line here, break that trend line, we definitely want to see it hold support in that, because here's the, on the closing basis, somewhere around here. Okay, so that's pretty much near that trend line there. And Ford Motor Company, like I said, I have a position on that when it came back down, and I got out of my position near the break-even point where my entries are. So I got out of this trade here. If it come back and we trigger, then I take a look at it and we enter the trade. But right now, basically, I'm just kind of see how much of a pullback would it incur. It could be coming down to test this level, or basically just come down and test these, this particular trend line and try to break it up and and then maybe make another attempt to come up and break this downward trend line. And hopefully, maybe after it does that, then it could get up and fill this gap. So just kind of keep an eye on it. Don't force the issue. If the market doesn't give you that trade, then don't take it. And if you don't feel comfortable with it, just step away, because we don't have to do every trade, right? It's just about making money. It's not like have to be in the game all the time. Just have to pick a target. So here's Micron. Micron holding up this trend line pretty well. It kind of came down and bounces off of it. So I still have the position. So right now, we just kind of keep an eye on it because the semiconductor seems to have some spotty strength there. Like looking at Intel. Intel has also kind of shows some strength today. So let me just get this on there. You can see Intel. Remember, I put up a graph over here, this chart, saying that depending on which way that Intel going to break on this particular consolidation area, if it break down, then it could easily, make a case of doing a, what we call a head and shoulder pattern, right? This pattern, and if it break up on break out on this direction, then we could come back and possibly get up here to fill this gap. So we'll see, because Intel kind of have a nice day today, so it's a nice green day, and BlackBerry. BlackBerry, we're talking about this trend line. It broke this trend line, so I exit out of my position, so I'm no longer holding BlackBerry. So we'll kind of, just keep an eye on it, to see what kind of consolidation it will have. If it break below this particular level, then, all bets are off. Then we'll probably could come down and retest these level. But if it could hold about this level, then maybe there will be another setup for it to come up and break this resistance and possibly get up to this level and then play the gap fill once again. And JC Penney, we're talking about this long-term, trend line, this declining trend line as a resistance. So still kind of hovering about that. So maybe it might come back down and fill this gap. Who knows? Or just consolidate above this support area for a couple more days. Then basically, it will essentially, in time, the price will get above this trend line and try to work itself up to break this, 915 resistant and possibly get up to this particular level here on this, 1025. Then on AMD is interesting, kind of got a big pullback. So we just offer an opportunity to add to the position. So we just kind of keep an eye on that. It seems like, went up fast and came down fast. So you just have to be aware of the situation. And it's just like this particular stock today, Plug, this fuel cell, and it went up 30%. I mean, for anybody that traders, if you try to set up a swing trade on this thing, you got to be crazy because, unless you are down here, you set up a swing trade. But if you got in and start chasing this guy, you have to be doing intraday trading and just doing day trading. And if you didn't take profit, well, what can I say? Just hope for the best for you. And we're talking about AMD and then YHOO. And here's YHOO. I got out the position last Friday when it broke through this, this level here on this engulfing candle and this inside bar. So right now it came down and tested this trend line here. So we're going to see, basically just kind of waiting for the next setup. If the next setup come and it looks good and I'm not trading in anything else that already tied up my my allowable risk, then maybe I take a look at Yahoo again. So just all these candidates, you just have to kind of take what the market gives you and then just be patient. It's like HP is still trying to, break out of this 30 level. Like last Friday, thought might be making a move, but today it's kind of pulled back and got beneath it again on this resistance here. So it's just kind of hovering here. So again, we just basically have to be a little patient and see, what will it do in the coming days. And similarly with Apple, so basically Apple is in a tug of war between the long and the short. So it's just kind of still hovering around this 530. And just in due time. You just have to be patient. Eventually, it's going to break one way or the other. Then we're going to get some action. Either we, for the longs, like I'm at in a long position on Apple, then we'll play it up. If it break up, if it break down, then watch us stop and exit out when it hit a stop, and take our losses and wait for the next trade. Then on Amazon, again, on Amazon, we're talking about this resistance here came up here, try to fill this gap, and right now it's pulling back. So it's maybe it come down, going to retest this level here. That's the 365, 366 level, and before it, come back and reverse and try to build a little bit of steam to break this, 375 level and come in and fill this gap here. Then Facebook, like I said on Facebook, although I think one could do a quick trade or that sort of thing, because at least to me, I basically seeing the reward and risk is just not worth it, because that's for my style of trading. Maybe for yours it's different. So I'm just speaking for my style of trading. Even though it could come up here to maybe somewhere around the 74 area, bumping up this trend line here, for the, so, coming in at 72, so essentially getting a $2 reward. And if I set the stop somewhere around here, which would be 69, so that's say $3, risking 3 to make 2, it just doesn't add up. And if I get down here at the 70.30, so, essentially risking 2 to make 2, and also doesn't add up. It's just not worth it right now for me. So essentially, I'm just kind of watching Facebook. And if it pull back, like I said on the last video, if it pull back to the 618, then it'd be interesting to keep an eye on for a little setup here, then possibly play it up and break this 71 level, or if then or this 72, whatever it may be, and get up to that 76. Then for Twitter, it doesn't matter what kind of upgrade or how many price target people be throwing at it. I think the key level that need to get up is that 57. If you can't get back above this 57, we'd probably be looking at this thing, kind of slowly working itself down to test this $50 level. GFI, Goldfield, it's kind of, holding on. It came back up a little bit, so it's still holding. I'm still holding the position. Still, if it could hold this trend line, or just make itself back up and looking for a breakout of this resistance, possibly get up, fill this gap, and then we see what the price action will take. Then the rare earth element, got out of that position last Friday, so right now it's kind of pulling back. So it's kind of waiting for, again, just waiting for it to consolidate and see what kind of setup it will present. And if there's a trade coming, then we'll consider when that trade will come. But for now, I no longer in that trade. And if we take a look at gold, basically looking at gold, it's going to consolidate here. Essentially, we're looking for it to break out this GLD, to break about this 130.50, somewhere around that area, and then possibly make it back up here to this 136, 137 level. And then silver, we're talking about silver coming down. Today, got a little bit of an inside day, inside bar candle. So if we could hold above this particular low here, about $20 or so, and make itself back above this resistance, then we could, start looking at maybe possible entry, long trigger for a swing long, get up here and possibly get back up here to this pivot high, and work itself up to the 2370 area. And then the GDX, the gold miner ETF, still kind of waiting for it to consolidate here, finish consolidating, get up here and break this particular resistance. So we essentially got a little bit of a head and shoulder pattern, you could say, if we take a look at this. But that'd be a very little bit of a, nice inverted shoulder here. And then the junior gold miner, similarly, we're just waiting for this to make itself up here to try to break above this 44.50. So that's basically the update for today. I hope you had a great day trading, and seeing a lot of euphoric sentiment out there. So got to be careful, because it is getting a little bit of a fluffy on some of the stuff. And you can see that we're getting a lot of speculation in there, and people, you could see some of the tweak that people putting out is like, the game is so easy and that sort of thing. So once these people get that kind of attitude, then the emotion is taking over, the little bit of decision-making process. So got to be careful. The market is getting a little bit extended, and when we get too euphoric or too complacent, the market will always wake us up by slapping us in the face. So good luck.